Hello, what's up, good people? Good to see you once again. Now, guess what? On this video, I'm gonna take you through 3 businesses that will surely make you rich in Kenya. I know you're out there, you're planning, you have some of your cash, maybe you're outside the country, you wanna come back, or you're within the country, maybe you want to resign your job, or you have done your savings and you want to start a business, but you're worried and you do not know exactly what should you start and what's that profitable business that is out there. And by the way, let me tell you one thing. It is true, some of the businesses quite profitable compared to others. And it is my work, it is my role as you a member of this channel to take you through on these best businesses that you can be able to start with your cash, because you know what it feels when you take your time, you save your money, you save your capital, and you want to start a business, but you're out there, you're confused. Some of the people tend to believe like, having the capital for starting a business is like the biggest or the hardest thing to get. Sometimes yes, can be, but at the end of the day, once you get your capital, you tend to you tend to be more confused than when you are when you never had the capital, because sometimes it's not only the capital as the main factor when you're starting a business. All right. Anyway, so I'm gonna take you through, so you better watch this video to the end. And by the way, that business is actually my favorite, and I love it at all the time. All right, so anyway, before we do that, take time and take 1 second, which is free and fast, to subscribe to this channel. Just down below there on your right, there is a black button written subscribe. Just hit it. Then on your left, there is a like button. Hit those 2 magical buttons, and guess what happens? You get to be notified by the YouTube whenever I upload a new good video. So you better stick around. This is a place to be. This is a cup of your coffee. My name is Joseph. Talk about money, talk about investments. All right, so now, the first business, of course, you've ever heard of this business. I'm not gonna give you like rocket science businesses or things that you've never heard of. I'm gonna share with you things that you already know and you interact with them each and every day. The very first business is about an auto spare business, commonly known as spare parts business. Though this is a business that's actually very much lucrative, because what you're supposed to know in our country, or with our country, it's a developing economy. And a developing economy, you find like we are building capacities, we are building infrastructures and what have you. And people are buying cars each and every time. There is a bulging middle income in Kenya, where people are becoming more sensitized about them having cars and what have you. In a typical African family, it's always a dream for that given family to own a car. And whenever you have that car, then it means that there is a certain, sort of a luxury attached to that and something of sort. So it's always almost everybody's dream to buy and own a car. If you want to believe that this business is quite lucrative, just go to Nairobi in a place called Kirinyaga Road. If you go to that place, you'll realize that people are making money. Yes, they may not look as if they're making money, because let me tell you one secret. The idea is not looking rich, but actually being rich. This is a business that you find like it has what we call the large or bigger margin profit. I always tell people, whenever you're starting a business, make sure that the business that you're starting or the product that you're selling has a what we call a big margin profit. What does that mean? It means like if you're buying a product A and you're selling, then that product A must have that what we call a logical profit margin. Meaning, if you subtract, or if you subtract the buying price minus the selling price, then you should have what we call the profit. Then that profit should be a little bit unmarginable. But when you're dealing with some other businesses like selling a shop, you find that the marginal profit in the product that you're selling in a general shop, you find that the profit is quite constricted. So when you come to selling these spare parts and auto spares, you find like a margin is quite big. And you can source these products from various places. We have them that we call the Dubai's one, the Japanese one, the European ones, the Germans and what have you. And this business, it's not a must that you go and confine yourself into Nairobi and what have you. Even other towns are picking up very well. Actually, we have a new baby in town called the Nakuru city. So you can pick that place and invest somewhere and somewhere in that city, and you can get started. Think of other bigger towns in Kenya, likes of Eldoret. Actually, spare parts are doing very nice in Eldoret, by the way. All right. If you go to Kisumu, if you go to Kakamega, Bungoma, if you go to Nyeri, Nanyuki, if you go to Meru, Embu, Isiolo, Garissa, all those places, Mombasa, are well resonating with this kind of business. And people always ask me like, how much do I need to start this business? And I always say there is always 3 tiers when it comes to business. Number one, we have what we call the small version of the business, the medium one, and we have the large one. So it all depends on your capacity and how you want to start. There is a spare part that is worth like 5 million, 10 million, 20, 30, even 100 million if you maybe want to put up a warehouse or something. So you can even start a spare part business with only like 300,000, 200, 250, you can start this specific business. First of all, this business does not require a lot of branding, a lot of paintings and what have you. Just make yourself some shelves and there, put a very nice branding outside there, then be what we call a good outgoing person. Have your best fundis outside there if you want to offer those services, and if you don't want to offer those services, then make sure that you work on your skills as far as the customer service are concerned. All right, so say of 250,000 and above, you're good to start a business. But I stand corrected. At times you may find somebody who has started that business with only 100,000, and you can pick yourself from there and progress. All right, so we go to business number 2. Business number 2, also it's quite popular as well. You always interact with it each and every day, and this is about electronic and electrical businesses, anything related to electrical businesses. I was shocked when I went to Alibaba, or you can go to AliExpress and or Amazon and Google, like let's say like charging spots or charging systems or worthing, something of sort. You realize these products are quite cheaper, especially if you buy them in bulk. And once you buy them in bulk, like I was looking at this there's this phone that the average phones, I don't know you guys what you call them. In Kenya we call them kabambe, all right? Just normal phone. And there's a name, but I'm forgetting the name. So you find like these products, you find them at a very cheap price, and once you bring them here, like this, those phones were costing like 300 or 400 shillings plus the shipping cost and what have you, and then therefore you can even sell it at 1,100. You have a marginal profit of 700. That's quite a good business. You can even sell the electricals and electronic related products. You can sell the kettles, all those electronics things. You can sell electricals like the wires, the bulbs and what have you, the holders and all those things, if you have some knowledge about it. And if you do not, then you can employ somebody who has the skills and knowledge of understanding what is this, how does it do, and such kind of things. Because it's quite not so good when a customer shows up to your place buying a certain product and they tell you a name and you're floating. You do not know exactly what's even that and how does it work and such kind of a thing. So it's a quite a lucrative business. If you want to believe this business works, actually go to a place called Dubois in Nairobi. There's a place called Dubois and Nyamakimas and what have you. The guys are breaking millions out of that. So that's why you see like there was an outrageous an outrage, you know, raised after there was something called the China Square Mall or something on the Unicity in Kenyatta University, because they know how much they make, and these guys were, it's like, were coming to the market and revealing the secrets of how much they're actually making, because these people are breaking in a lot of money. So you better be cautious and careful when you're dealing with the business, because don't go out there and try to aim like the biggest profit there and manipulate people and such kind of things. All right, so it's quite a good and lucrative business if you can get into it, and you can earn a lot of money out of it. Where does this business fit? Well, it can fit from quite residential areas, can fit into CBDs, it can also fit into outskirts of a given town in Kenya, and can actually do good for your business. So this business doesn't require like a lot of money to start. If you can think of like 300, 400, 500 and above, then you're good to start. And if you maybe come from like out very far from towns, then like 80,000, 100, 120, 150 going up there, you can just start somewhere and kind of a thing. It's not a must that you wait until you get the 400,000 or 300 for you to start that business. You can start with that what you have as you wait, or as you aim and work towards what you want. Now we go to business number 3, which is my favorite now, and I bet you've ever heard of me talking about this business, and I'll never cease to talk about these businesses or this business. This is quite the most lucrative business as far as I'm concerned. All right, so this business is none other than, you guessed it right, that is pharmacy or chemist business. This is a very nice and good business. The one thing that I love about this business, number one, is because they have it has what we call a big margin profit. You find the profit margin between those two factors that I told you that you're supposed to consider. That is the buying price and the selling price is quite big and enormous. So if you can get yourself into this business, then rest assured that it's quite a lucrative business. And by the way, I know you're out there and you're asking, okay, fine, Joseph, what if I don't have skills of starting this business? Can I be able to do so? Yes, you can. A lot of people tend to think like, for you to be able to start this business, you must have what we call the medical skills, or maybe pharmaceutical degree, or usually, by the way, there are 2 degrees. We call the pharmacy and pharmaceutical science. All right. So pharmaceutical technology rather, not science. So you find like if you have those skills, then by the law you are allowed to start a chemist. But if you do not have those skills, then you can rely on people who have already done that specific skill. This is how it goes about. Okay. You do it like this. You have the money, you are the investor, and you have the cash. So what you do, you go pick somebody who you know did or done that kind of a thing, and they have the license or the permits or the certification by the Kenya Poisons Board. Is it poisonous board or poisonous board? Something of sort, okay? So once you get this individual, then you talk to them, you tell them, hey, I would like to start a chemistry and I would like to use your certification or the license. Now, it's about, or it's between the two of you to agree on how much and at how long will you be paying them. Most of them, they'll ask you like 15,000 a month. Most of them will tell you, hey, I'm not going to sit here and wait for you to pay me at the end of the month. So this is the deal. I usually charge my license per year. Like let's say per year is 100,000 or 200,000. You give them the 100,000, you're done. For the next whole year, you use the license, and that is the that certification is the one that usually pin at the business premise, so that at least whenever these guys who regulate the the meats, the pharmacy related services, once they come here, they usually scan a certain code there and the number identification and what have you, and then they can be able to be reflected on their platform or their portals to see this guy who is actually owning this specific shop is an individual who is certified to do so. Again, there's someone who or you've employed to that specific. Remember one thing: you do not have a skills. Okay, if you have the skills, okay, you can just disseminate those services for yourself. But if you do not have the skills as well, now you get the person number two. The person number two is the one who will be on the counters. The somebody who or someone who will be offering those services. Somebody shows up maybe with a prescription or maybe something, and then you the person is the person to direct those people and tell them this is what you're supposed to take. This is what it says. This is how much. This is called what. This does so that all those kind of things. All right. So you employ that specific individual who again is certified by that specific body called Kenya Poisons Board or something. Kenya Poisons Board, something of sort. So now that specific individual is certified by that specific body. Remember, here you have two things. You can have somebody you have somebody who has the certification to start the business. You've taken their license to use it. Number two, you have somebody who also has the same and similar qualification to do or to sell you or to offer actually those services on the counter. You might be lucky to get somebody who gives you that specific license, and again you employ that specific individual as the guy who can actually also offer those services. All right, because you need to have somebody who understands and who has the skills. Now, where do you come from now, or where do you now lie in this specific business? You can have yourself like a white coat lab and whatever in that place, but you're not selling those services. Whenever those guys shows up, you tell your guy to say that you're just a guy who just the normal thing, the parkings and whatever, here and there. If your business is quite big, but if it's small, then it doesn't like make sense. You get what I'm saying? So this is the point. Now, you yourself, you'd be dealing with what we call the numbers. You are the investor here. You need to know this is the amount of this specific kind of a drug or medicine I brought. This is the kind of a medicine or the whatever I brought, or those kind of a thing. So you have that track record of exactly how much is going out, how much is coming in, what is the difference, and how are you balancing, how much do you have in stock, how much are we supposed to take, kind of to stock, to restock. That is all those things. You must have that system there that is needed for you to start this business. Yeah, I know the question now you're about to ask me is how much does it cost to start this business? Well, I would lie, starting a pharmacy business is quite a capital intensive business. You require a steep amount of money, but I can say with a minimum of 300,000, you're good to go and going up. But if you want to start this business in maybe a CBD or a town, or that one gonna cost you a little bit, maybe talk of apps of 600,000 and above. Sometimes can even go to millions, depends on the capacity or the size of that specific business that you want to start. So those are the factors that you're supposed to consider when you're starting this business. Anyway, guys, by the way, if you're out there, you would like to get the business plans of each and every business that I've already discussed, they are ready. The pharmacy one is ready, the electrical ones is ready. The other one about the well, come on, I have all those business plans ready for you, so you can get them and start that specific business. The other one was about AUTOSPARE business. I have it ready, and each and every of those business plans is only 450 shillings. You get my number from the description of this specific video. You text me on WhatsApp, you get your copy, and you get started. That's how we do it. My name is Joseph, talk about business. And if you'd like to get any other booklets about business plans, business ideas, I have them. Money market fund, treasury bills, and other kind of things, I have them ready for you. So for now, it's a goodbye. By the way, make sure that you subscribe, comment down below, tell me what you think. And for now, it's a goodbye, and we meet on the next video.